go, here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Win on one. Oh, win on three. 1, 2, 3. Hey, look at that step in there. Eyes on three. Everything on three. One. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast. It's your boy,
All I do is win, no matter what.
Chaz, and as always, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's up? What's going on, boys?
And, of course, we are joined by the fantasy football surgeon himself, Zags. What's going on, Zags?
What is up, boys? I think just real quick, we should add the man, the myth, the cleanly shaven legend.
Scary looking, actually.
It is scary looking.
Don't frighten. Don't be scared at home, guys. Hide your kids.
We can add undefeated as well to that, I guess, too.
We'll
so.
get there. We'll get there.
Throwing shade. I like it. I like it. Let's go.
Adam is not here, and I'm going to call him out. Adam is a dumbass and moved to Nashville and is on a different time zone right now. And he's a dumbass, and he didn't realize that we were on our time, the right time, not that weird like central time, the right time.
He's at Kid Rock's bar right now, chasing something pretty in cowboy boots. Don't let him fool you.
He's, what do you expect from a Titans fan now, you know?
Lighten up, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Ryan Tannehill looked great. Adam's calling that is woo-wee. Ryan Tannehill, 170 yards, 3 interceptions, even worse than Josh Allen. We'll get into that. We will get into that. We got some news and notes. The big injuries, and we'll start with the one that's actually more impactful, I feel, for fantasy football, and that's J.K. Dobbins, out for the year with an Achilles tear. But is it really that impactful? Because who didn't see this coming?
Exactly. I mean, when is he? It's on brand. When is he not hurt? So
I think the best thing that you can say this time is at least he made it to the regular season.
It's very true.
you ain't wrong.
Give it a month, guys. Their starting running back's going to be Melvin Gordon because Justice Hill gets hurt all the time, and so does Gus Edwards gets hurt all the time. So Melvin Gordon's going to start running back soon.
Well, there's still free agent running backs too.
True. Yeah, but these are the 3 they got on their rosters. They're going to start dropping.
Oh, yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
And then, of course.
Let me call it right now. Give it 3 weeks. If Baltimore has a winning record, Kareem Hunt is a Raven.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's a long way to last, though. But maybe
3 weeks. Give it 3 weeks.
Yeah, so why? Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the team that needs them right now. I mean, maybe it might even be 2 weeks. Maybe it might even be 1.
Yeah.
Maybe he's there now.
I know Gus Edwards was probably a popular pickup on the waiver wire this week. I faded on him hard in every league. So,
well, he's the guy that I think is the guy because Justice Hill's more of a pass catching guy where Gus can anchor, the running attack that they run. But you're right, so can Kareem Hunt. But any chance, guys, you think that they might be like, we need somebody. Hey, Indianapolis, what about that guy there you got sitting on the bench?
Would they love to have Jonathan Taylor? I think so. Are they going to pay the ridiculous asking price for him? I don't think so.
Plus, I mean, if they're gonna wait, 4 weeks, or they gotta wait 3 more weeks, I guess technically now. But
right, and he's still got to get acclimated and everything.
Yeah.
So like, every week that passes, he becomes what's the word I'm looking for?
Less desirable.
No. He becomes less valuable to the Colts because his contract's coming up, and if you're going to get something for him, you got to get it sooner rather than later because 16 games of Jonathan Taylor as a rental for the say the Ravens is worth more than say 7 games as a rental. So
but also if they're gonna wait like 3 more weeks and he's got to get acclimated, they might as well sign
Kareem Hunt or whoever else that's probably ready to go
I
for a
think
lot cheaper.
I think that they can trade him even though he's on IR. I think there's a thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if they trade, he still can't play for 3 weeks. Plus, then he's got to get ready. Whereas they could just sign Kareem Hunt or someone else who's probably in game shape, ready to go right away for the most part.
Was just a thought, and so of course, what is it? Oh no, oh no! I feel bad for that, but like the dude, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's old and has first hit of the year. He's out for the year. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did Aaron Rodgers really take his first sack and tear his Achilles and is out for the year after all of that pageantry, the whole season, the climbing in a rhinoceros's asshole and taking ayahuasca, saying, I'm going to play with the Jets, him becoming the GM of the Jets, getting all the fucking Packers that he could handle on the Jets, and he literally tears his Achilles the first hit. Did that happen?
Yo, that shit didn't tear. That shit fucking blew up. I don't know if you've seen his calf, but
Ridiculous.
that video, slow-mo video, that calf was fucking gruesome looking when that thing exploded.
And it was so unassuming. It was so unassuming. Like it just a nice sack. Hey man, nice sack. Sorry, that was.
I'm surprised too that he wasn't like, I don't trust the doctors. I'm gonna go in my cave and take some more drugs and see if I can heal myself. Because he said he doesn't trust doctors, so
he knew, man. He as soon as he like sat down, he was like, "Oh man, it couldn't happen to a better organization though." By the way, or a better fan base, right? JC Money. Sorry.
I will just throw out there. I think we deserve a little pat on the back here at the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, because if you go back a couple episodes, I mentioned that when we were talking about the whole Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers situation, I did mention watch this be the year that Aaron Rodgers messes himself up and is out for the season, and Green Bay is just ha ha, and then there we go. So little pat on the back for the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
He kind of did do it to himself because of the play calling shit that he didn't like or whatever, and that he was all upset about, and ended up getting him hurt anyway. So,
and there's nothing more must-watch football coming up. I know it didn't really swing that well for this past game, but what is more must-watch football than Nate Hackett calling plays for Zach Wilson? I mean, that is just going to be Nate Hackett with a quarterback that was kind of useful, was god-awful in Denver. So now he's literally got probably the second worst starting quarterback in the NFL calling plays for. Oh, I'm so excited.
It's going to be awful to watch. The one thing I will say, though, is I do feel like Zach Wilson may have gotten his slice of humble pie. And, last year he kind of thought he was the man. I think maybe with him going into this situation, knowing he ain't the fucking man, he's a game manager. Maybe he plays a little bit different and just leans heavy on that defense, which looked pretty great. Yeah, pretty fantastic. So I honestly, if you want to know my personal opinion about him, I think he's a douchebag. I can't stand the fucking guy. But if he goes into this situation knowing hey, you're not the fucking man, you're just the guy that fucking hikes the ball. All right, it might look a little bit different.
I mean, my opinion on him is he's a motherfucker. You see what I did there?
That's nice.
I think that's kind of all we got to say about this news, because the whole Aaron Rodgers situation and what we're talking about flows really well into our first segment of the year.
How about them Bills, baby? Let's go. Hey, let's.
So you start the game, and you literally hurt Aaron Rodgers for the year, and now you're just dealing with Zach Wilson, and you're dealing with a good defense, and we're gonna crush them, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers goes out the line as Bills negative 2.5. When Aaron Rodgers went out, I believe the line went up to Bills by 11. And how'd that work out?
I mean, we were up 10 at halftime. I had a bet, an early win up 10 bet that I won on the Bills, up 10 at halftime, and then we end up losing that game.
It is unfathomable that they let this game slip away. Now, it's the first year, and it's the first game of the year, and everyone's going to jump on and say, don't panic. Sure, okay, I get that. I get it. Our team is better than it played, but is it though? Is it really? Like, come on, man! This is fucking the second time you let Zach Wilson punch you in the fucking face. Zach Wilson.
Here's what I hate, and we've said this before. Last year, fucking Bills fans, like, your hometown team, you can fucking criticize them for playing shitty, and that doesn't mean that you're a fucking fair weather fan, or you don't have to just be like, oh, they're better than they really are, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's all fine, but they played like shit. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. They looked like shit, they played like shit, they were shit.
Exactly, Dave. Here is some audio from a Josh Allen pass in the game. Ready? There it is. That's I did get you every time. Yeah.
I love that. Love that drop. It's my favorite drop.
Josh was horrendous, but like, I'm not like done with Josh. I'm not bench Josh. None of that stuff. The problem, and I said this. So what I was feeling in the beginning of the game was I felt Josh was forcing the ball into Diggs because of the whole Diggs situation and me calling him a crybaby and Diggs getting the ball. So that second interception, Josh throws 2 Diggs in the middle of the end zone, double covered, picked off easily, absolutely easily, which is horrendous. So he had 3 interceptions. The first one I don't care as much because the first one was 3rd and 8. He threw a bomb. They picked it off at the 5-yard line. Whatever. We would have punted anyway. That second one was fucking double coverage in the end zone, trying to force it into Diggs. Awful. And that third one, I don't know if it was a bad pass or a really good play by Whitehead. It could have been a really good play by Whitehead. So that one's kind of in the middle. But that second pass, I felt he was forcing to Diggs. Now, at first, like I said, I was thinking that he was forcing it to Diggs because Diggs been being a baby. But I've kind of changed my thought about that and thinking that he was forcing it to Diggs because he has Trent Sherfield and fucking Deontay Hardy as his other options, and he's like, fuck these hoes. This is all I have. Gabe Davis is never open. I don't know who Trent Sherfield is. I probably couldn't point him out of a fucking lineup. So I'm just going to fucking throw to the tight ends and Stephon Diggs. And that I feel that couldn't be any more true, and that's why that second interception happened. And that kind of explains the whole game. Josh hikes the ball, looks for Diggs. Diggs isn't open, might slide his look to one of the tight ends, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm running. And that just seemed like it was his game plan.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that at all. I'll even take it a step further. I mean, I personally don't like Gabe Davis. I mean, Gabe Davis has lived off one fucking playoff game with 4 touchdowns. And suddenly he's the fucking obvious clear cut. If Stephon Diggs wasn't there, he'd be a wide receiver 1. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Are you serious? No way. Gabe Davis is trash. I don't understand why he gets drafted in fantasy draft. He should be undrafted in fantasy drafts. He's so useless. I don't understand it.
Dave, I'll tell you why. Chaz and Adam think this is Gabe Davis's year. So
no, I thought he'd be good for fantasy because he's Josh's number 2.
You guys said that he was going to be good. This was going to be a good year for him, and
because he's Josh's number 2. But
I've been saying it all along. He is fucking dog shit. His numbers aren't even good enough to be a wide receiver 2 on almost every fucking team in this NFL. So he would be a wide receiver 3 on most teams.
Now, I'm not saying to anybody out there in fantasy football land to go and drop Gabe Davis yet because he was against the Jets, one of the best defenses in the league, and half of the time he saw coverage from Sauce. Diggs was fucking Sauce up a little bit, but Sauce doesn't cover Diggs. Sauce covers the right side of the field. So there's a lot of time that Gabe was on the right side of the field. But that's not a defense for Gabe, but give fantasy football purposes, give Gabe another few weeks. Nobody's worried about Josh in fantasy. Yeah. Nobody's worried about Diggs. But if you're worried about Gabe, let him get through the Raiders and stuff first and see how he performs. But it's not promising.
Yeah,
I'm
and
here to
here's-
tell you the exact opposite. If you got Gabe Davis sitting on your team, you are wasting a fucking spot. And if there's anybody on the waiver wire with a pulse that gets more than 5 targets a game, you go ahead and make that move.
Dave, you are taking Puka Nakua over Gabe Davis.
Yes, I am.
Oh my lord!
Because at least there's the possibility for some type of production there. You know what you're getting out of Gabe. It's been 3 years of trash. You know what you know what you're going to get one game
True.
where he's got 4 touchdowns and 200 yards and his stat line is going to look like an absolute beast, and you're never going to know when that game's going to come. But for 11 other games, you're going to get 3 catches for 17 yards.
Okay, that's a
So,
wild
he-
thing, but
Here's my biggest issue with the game. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's the first game of the year," and all the fucking excuses, and it's like, "Oh, Josh needs to get this out of the way," or they're rustier. Fucking bullshit. He's leading. He's got the most interceptions of the last 4 years,
Mhm.
and he's still making the same dumb fucking decisions that he made year 1 to now. Also, if you look at last year's game against the Jets to Mondays, it's almost the same fucking stat line. Everything is almost the same. If you run down everything, like the catches for the receivers and how we got fucking embarrassed and we didn't do shit for the second half. So obviously we're not learning anything. So I don't think it's like, oh, it's just the first game of the year. It's we're fucking being exposed and we're not doing anything to change.
the Jets have our number for sure. Yes, Josh has been throwing a lot of interceptions, but to be fair to Josh, he's also been throwing a lot of touchdowns. So
Well, yeah.
it's not like Nate Peterman throwing a lot of fucking interceptions.
Well, yeah, but still, he's
And-
making the same dumb decisions that he normally makes.
And I'm going to give you 3 names here from a quick little search I did. Brett Favre, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Drew Brees. Sorry, 5 names. You know what those names have in common? They're all in the top 12 of interceptions thrown. Brett Favre has thrown the most interceptions in the NFL. Dan Marino's 8, Peyton Manning's 9, Eli's 11, Drew Brees is 12. So, okay.
Well,
They're
yeah.
the good quarterbacks also throw interceptions, but he does need to clear. I don't want to I don't want Josh to be Jameis Winston
Yeah.
from 3 years ago, 30-30. That's
Well,
not.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, he's a gunslinger. He's gonna throw interceptions, but he's got like the interceptions where we're like, it could have gone either way. Those are one thing, but the stupid fucking decisions that lead to interceptions has got to stop. At some point, you got to learn. When is that going to happen? Who knows?
Could it just be that the Jets have our number, Dave? I mean, they crushed us last year. They almost crushed us again last year, and then they crushed us this year.
No, I mean, I think I think the Jets. I mean, I don't know what it is about the Jets, but I do think that this is on Josh, and he, like we said, he throws a lot of touchdowns, but he throws a lot of picks. To me, it doesn't matter about the picks. I don't care about the picks. If he throws 4 picks and we win that game, he's sitting at the press conference going, I got to be better. I got to be better. But you know what? We figured it out and we got it done. I don't care if he throws 5 picks, win the fucking game. You know what I mean? If you got to throw it up and give Diggs a 50-50 ball and you get picked off, like, okay, that's fine. But like, you gotta throw touchdowns sometimes, bro. You gotta make something happen sometimes.
Well, that goes back to like what I said, like the 50-50 balls are like but you can't just like the dumb decisions is what's killing them.
Yeah.
I'm also getting tired of him with the same fucking bullshit excuse of, oh, I got to be better, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we fucking heard it like 500 times now.
Hey, Bills Mafia out there, I got a question for you. How you feeling about Tremaine Edmonds? You miss him yet? You miss him yet? That the first 2 carries of the game, the Jets had 112 rushing yards on the first 2 carries of the game. Are you missing the 6'8" monster running linebacker right now? Are you, Bills fans? No, of course not. No, of course not. We are fucked. And it's not like we're lucky though. We had a guy that tore his ACL 7 months ago run for 86 yards on his second carry against us, and a 42-year-old running back with a broken shoulder tear us up. But next week we got the Raiders coming in. Their running back's not very good, right? Right? No, oh no, didn't he lead the league in rushing last year? We're fucked. The Bills are fucked.
Our middle linebacker ain't it, bro.
They're fucked.
Dude, he got tossed around like a fucking rag doll.
If they play like they did yesterday, or if they or Sunday, if they or Monday, sorry, if they play like they did Monday, and even if they fucking turn it up 50%, we're fucked because they're just people are gonna run down our throats with how we're set up now. It's gonna be we need to be up by like 20 points.
Milano's gonna be dead by the end of the year because he's got to fucking do everything himself at this point. So,
but he's not a middle linebacker. So
I know exactly, but he's like doing everything.
And what are they
for
gonna
the
do?
linebackers right now?
What is he gonna do? What are you gonna do? Put Milano in the middle? He's gonna get fucked up.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
Then there's no pass rush or coverage, so you can't do that. They really fucked up by not signing Tremaine Edmonds.
Well, I mean, we didn't have the money for one, and we all knew that we were going to sign Poyer over Edmonds because it was going to be cheaper, and the fans wanted Poyer.
Oh, fucked up. Come on, Dave. I know you're a detractor of Tremaine a little bit too, but come on.
No, I love Tremaine.
Oh, you love Tremaine?
Yeah, I never hated him. I thought we should have kept him. Also, I just want to throw out there, like, where the fuck is All Day Trey, bro? Like, how long is it going to take? He is a shell of his former self.
I don't know. I don't think he did that bad because Garrett Wilson didn't have that great a game, and that amazing catch that he had, Trey was right on his hip.
He was
amazing catch.
Yeah, but All Day Trey used to be a difference maker. Like,
yeah,
he would come in and make the big interception. He would come in and make that big play on 3rd and 7 when we needed the ball. Like, where is he, dude?
I don't think you can.
Definitely not the same.
I don't think you can take that from him out of this game because Zach Wilson was the quarterback and he was throwing the ball so conservatively.
Yeah, but I'm also talking going all the way back to last season. Sure. Like when's the last time that All Day Trey was All Day Trey and made a game changing play?
Sure.
Like yeah, like where dude, we need you, bro. We need you. Because
the great general manager Brandon Beane that we had drafted a cornerback in the first round last year to give him some stability. And how did Kaiir Elam do Monday, Jay?
He was.
I heard he let. Is this true? He let 0 catches happen on Monday.
True. So he might have been our best corner.
Yeah.
He was watching at home.
Because he was a healthy scratch. Your first fucking round pick from 2022 is a healthy fucking scratch, Brandon Beane. Your second round pick from 2021 or 2020, you trade for a 5th round pick. Brandon Beane, your ass. You're living off of a fucking career because you made the bright decision of taking Josh Allen instead of Josh Rosen. Thank you, Brandon Beane. Who else has he drafted that has done anything? Trey, he was good with.
Yep.
And then Josh and Tremaine was good. Okay, he got Matt Milano. That's 2017 and 2018. Okay, that's 5 and 6 years ago. How good was Zach Moss? How good is AJ Epineza? And then you make the brilliant decision to keep fucking the wrong Isaiah. You put faith in fucking Gabe Davis. He had a good draft pick with Tyler Bass.
You got Von Miller.
That's a free agent move. That's Von Miller's good. That doesn't. I don't know.
He drafted Benford, who was our second starting cornerback. So I don't know.
Meh. Over your first round fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about the Bills anymore. Fuck them. Here's a new segment we're gonna have here. Dave, can you name me without looking the top 5 quarterbacks of the week?
Top
you
5
guys can go back and forth. Go back and forth. Dave, name me one of the top 5.
Top 5 quarterbacks for the week: not Joe Burrow, not Joe Burrow, not Joe Burrow, not Joe Burrow, and not Josh Allen.
Yeah. So give me
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Ding, number 2.
Mac Jones was number 2. Jordan Love's probably in there, right?
Ding, Jordan Love, number 3.
Yeah. Who's number 1?
Come on, who's number 1? somebody that just happened to
Oh,
throw
Tua.
Tua's
Tua.
number
Yeah,
one.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you got Tua, Mac, Love, just
Tua,
like we
Mac,
thought,
Love.
right? Just like everybody.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah, absolutely. Did Trevor get number 5?
Nope. The
No.
number 3 and 4 are
Dak.
no. God, no. He had like 6 points. Number 3 and 4 are a rookie and a guy that likes hand jobs.
Oh, Richardson.
Oh, yeah, Richardson, and
Richardson
Watson.
and Watson.
So the top 5 quarterbacks are Tua, Mac Jones, Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, and Deshaun Watson, just like we all had in our rankings, right?
Exactly.
100%.
Dude, week 1 is drunk.
I will say this. I did not have it on my bingo card for week 1 that Mac Jones and Zach Wilson would outduel Josh Allen.
And Lamar and Burrow and Mahomes.
Yeah.
How did the top
What?
5 drafted go? It would have been probably Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts,
Herbert.
Herbert. Herbert was good.
Herbert was all right. Yeah.
He was like 20 points. He was like 6th overall.
Burrow.
Lamar, Burrow. Yeah. So just like we all drew up, right? Could it be, guys, that just week 1 was drunk?
Could be.
Okay, guys, who are the top 5 running backs?
Derek-
Brees Hall.
Nope.
Derrick Henry's in
Actually,
there.
I'm sorry. I did this before the Monday night game, so I'm not sure about Brees Hall. So we're keeping him out, though. This was from before Monday.
Did Henry get in there?
No.
Number 5? No.
Nope.
Is Eckler definitely?
Eckler's 3.
Aaron Jones, he got in twice.
Aaron Jones 2.
Pollard get in there?
Pollard's 5.
Damn.
Who the hell is number 1? Chubb?
Nope, not even top 5. You're missing somebody pretty big for number 1. He was probably
Saquon.
God,
McCaffrey.
I forgot. Oh yeah.
Man,
shit.
Jesus.
I
You're
don't know
missing
why.
1. You're missing 1.
What
Wait,
are we
missing
in?
number
McCaffrey
4.
wasn't
I'm sorry.
one?
I'm sorry, you're missing 4.
I was gonna say
I
it.
meant to say you're missing 1. Here's a clue. Number 4 and number 6, other than Brees Hall, because I didn't list him here. I forgot.
Oh, was it Algier?
Algier was 4.
Let's
And
go.
Bajan was 6.
So you had then again, folks. I'm sorry. I did this on Monday morning, but for the Sunday games, you had the top 5 running backs: Christian McCaffrey. Oh, wait for it. Okay. Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Tyler Algier, Tony Pollard, Ass Etienne actually was 6, and Bajan was 7. So Falcons, by the way, 2 running backs in the top 7, and literally I think Bijan was like 1 or 0.8 points from being in the top 5. So you can almost say the Falcons had 2 running backs in the top 5. And honestly, the Chargers almost had 2 running backs in the top 8 because Joshua Kelly led that team in fucking carries.
Yeah. I will say this though about Joshua Kelly. I know there's a lot of hype on Josh Kelly right now. Why is nobody talking about that Austin Eckler tweaked his ankle though?
This is what I'm going to ask, because you guys know I was lower on Eckler, but by lower I meaning I had him at 4 or 5 in my rankings. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm panicked if I'm an Austin Eckler owner. And what I mean by that is Austin Eckler got most of his fantasy points off of toting the rock. What did he have? 4 targets? You get your points from Austin Eckler with targets and catches. Austin Eckler is not going to tote that rock 20 times a game. I think what they did in that game was decide to run the ball so much. That's why they both had like 16, 17 carries to keep Tua off the field, because their defense is so awful. As soon as Tua touches the ball, they're getting a touchdown.
Yeah.
So the fact that Austin Eckler only had 4 or 5 targets, receptions, would make me, I don't want to say panic, but would make me worry, because do you think Austin Eckler's going to tote the rock 25 times?
I think I'm not worried, and you guys know that I have a lot of Austin Eckler, and I went into the season knowing that Austin Eckler's receptions were gonna dip, and I think the reason why I'm not worried is because number 1, he did tweak his ankle. It's a minor tweak; he should be fine for week 2. But I do feel like Joshua Kelly got more run because of that. Obviously, they wanted to be easy with Austin Eckler. Keep him on the sideline, let Josh Kelly get some run in. And also, I mean, he delivered. He was my first round pick. I started him with confidence and he delivered. He put up a decent amount of points and I'm fine with it. There's a lot of first round picks that were total duds this week. So
I can't see in the what surprised me. Maybe you're right because it was the injury. I was surprised when I saw A, his lack of targets, and B, the amount of carries that Kelly had. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
It really blew my mind. And for someone who was already thinking that his receptions was going down, I was right by that. But I was never expecting Joshua Kelly to have as many runs. So, but again, week one's kind of drunk, right? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we'll go back into. Okay, so but it's the same to be said about Bijan and Algier. Now I watched that game, and Algier scored more points because he had the 2 touchdowns. And it didn't seem though like it was Algier was running the ball more. They were kind of split, but Bijan's had more targets and catches and stuff like that. So that's why they were so close. I believe Algier was like 24 and Bijan was like 20. And that's really just the touchdown, the extra touchdown. If they both had 1 touchdown, they would be about the same points, you know? So like that doesn't scare me anything because Bijan's the one that's ascending. You know what I mean? So like I'm happy to see that. But I also think Tyler Algier is startable for now as a flex guy. Because they had 18 pass attempts and won that game handedly, you know, and I think that's the way they're going to play it. And I think that's
probably.
So I know, like you joked in Dave, you joked in our group chat that like Algier's the one to own. Okay, if Algier gets 3 more points than Bijan next week, and they're both in the 20s, I'm still happy. And I don't think it stays that way the whole year. You know what I mean?
I mean, obviously, I put that in the group chat just to break the balls. but I will say, from and I'm saying this as a Bijan owner, I do have Bijan Robinson in a league. I did take him. This one makes me a little bit more nervous than the Eckler situation because in the Eckler situation, there's a reason why Josh Kelly seem to have an increased workload. Like we talked about, nobody's really talking about this. He tweaked his ankle. It makes sense that Josh Kelly gets more run. Bijan was totally healthy this whole game. I mean, this makes me a little bit nervous because, I wasn't super high on rookies. I wasn't super high on Bijan, but I took him because I got what I thought was great value on it. And I took it on the fact of like, I really thought he was going to be a workhorse, like 80% of the carries, like every down, like a true 3-down back. Maybe Algier comes in to spell him every once in a while, but like this was much more of a 50-50 split than I thought. And I'm more nervous about this situation.
See, that doesn't make me nervous because I never thought he was going to be a workhorse from game 1. So for the simple fact that he's not the workhorse game 1 and he's still putting up 20 plus points means in week 14, if he does take over the 80-20 role, he's going to be insane.
But I think the issue is if Algier keeps doing what he's doing, and I think it's going to be easy for him to do that because we've seen him do it before last year, and that offensive line is great, like you talked about. What would give them any reasoning to be like, all right, Bijan, we're going 80-20?
Guess what? They also have Cordell Patterson coming back. So they're going to have all 3 of these guys on the field at the same time. Right. And I'm excited to see how that happens. And don't forget, Ritter's got some wheels too. So it's really an interesting offense to me. And it makes me hate Drake London completely. Like, and I was down on him anyway. I think he got 0 points. And stick with that because he's not going to do good because this team is going to run the ball more than Tennessee. So,
yep.
It is what it is. Guys, who are the top 5 receivers of the week? Exactly. Exactly how we all had it.
Tyreek Hill and no one else matters.
Tyreek Hill at 44 points.
Ayuk, he's twice.
Ayuk 32.9 after we all shat on him on the receiver episode.
Not Jamar Chase. Jefferson?
Nope.
No, Jefferson didn't get in there?
I'll give you a hint. The only elite guy is Tyreek Hill. Just like we all drew it up, Jacoby Myers is number 3.
Oh yeah, Jacoby Myers. Did my boy Paku make it up there?
Nope. Just like we all drew up, Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne.
Oh yeah.
And one of my fantasy crushes,
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
Calvin
Ridley.
So your top 5 are Tyreek, Brandon Ayuk, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Calvin Ridley. What the fuck? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne, Sign him if you want. I don't care. I don't expect it to continue. But then again, Mac Jones did this against one of the best defenses in the league. So
I think less concerning about maybe going to get yourself some Kendrick Bourne is I drafted some Juju in some leagues and so taking some late round flyers, and that looks to be not the best move.
and to be fair to Juju, though, it's his first game with Mac. Bourne's been there. So maybe that had something to do with it. But here we go, guys. Top 5 tight ends. I won't make it guess. I'll have you guess this, man. How many tight ends went over 10 points? How many tight ends were double digits?
The 2 that scored touchdowns.
4.
4? Okay. All
So
right.
The 5th tight end was Evan Ingram at 9.9. He couldn't make it. He couldn't do it. He could not make it.
So
Number
close.
six- Number 6, by the way, was Cole Kmet, which made me happy because Cole Kmet was the guy I took on all the teams I waited for tight ends.
Let's
But
go.
you had Jay's boy, Donald Parham, at 11.1.
We got
Or
Hurst and
TJ Hawkinson was 11.5. Everyone that spent a 4th round pick on TJ Hawkinson, you got 11 points from him. Good job. And then first and second, we had, for the first time ever, and probably the first time that will only happen, for the first and second, we had Hunter Hurst Henry. Got it. Hayden Hurst was number 2 at 15.1, and Hunter Henry was number 1 at 16.6. So Hunter, Hayden, Hurst, Henry. Got
I love it.
1 and 2. And by the way, guys, that means that the New England Patriots had the 2nd best quarterback, the 4th best wide receiver, and the best tight end this week against the best defense in the NFL. How you feel?
Yikes.
How we all drew it up, right?
Yep.
I mean, week 1 is fluky, bro.
It's week 1.
Yeah, it's week.
Insane. All right. Well, okay. So
We all know how Mr. Henry does, and next week he'll be non-existent.
All right. So we are gonna get into our normal segments. So let's start with
Get dunked on, bro.
and I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna dunk on the Buffalo Bills, and I'm gonna dunk on Sean McDermott in particular. And what I'm dunking you on for, Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills. I question your head coaching for a long time now, and you win a lot of games. It's not saying you're the worst, and I mean that. I personally shat on Leslie Frazier for the whole year last year. The whole year last year. So it's your first game, Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills, coaching or coordinating the defense, calling the defensive plays, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. So the game starts, and everyone's watching. And the first play, you put so much pressure on Aaron Rodgers, but it's a handoff. And the second play, you don't pressure so much, and it's a handoff. The third play, you put so much pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and he misses a pass. And I think there's another penalty play. And then the 4th actual play, you don't bring much heat, but your defense gets to Aaron Rodgers so much that the dude's leg explodes. So now all of a sudden, the washed-up quarterback is out, and you bring in one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and Zach Wilson. So what do, Sean McDermott? Oh, take the gas off. Take the pedal. Take the gas off the pedal, guys. Nope, no more pressure. Nope, no. Play back. Give him all the open receivers he wants. Let him dink and dunk. Let him get into field goal range. It's fine. Field goal range, it's fine. So then it's 3rd and 12, and there's 2 penalties on a play. And you could get them a 10-yard play to back them up to 3rd and 23, maybe it was, and make it and then there's a 50-yard field goal. Or you decline the penalty and let them take the 40-yard field goal. So what does Mr. fucking pussy Sean McDermott do?
Declines
don't take
both
the
penalties.
Don't take either penalty. Just give him the chip shot field goal, the easier field goal. Just give him it, because we don't want Zach Wilson to beat us with a 23-yard play. Let me rephrase that. We don't want Zach Wilson to make a 25-yard play. So just give him the fucking field goal. Just give him the field goal. Give him the fucking field goal. It doesn't fucking matter. And, of course, they get the field goal. Oh, okay. Pussy. I hate Sean McDermott. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't. He sucks. I hate him. So
He let Zach Wilson march down that field for that touchdown too at the end of the game, which was fucking embarrassing.
I hate Sean McDermott so much. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. He's a fucking little fucking. All I want are these, and this could be also fucking Brandon Bean. He just wants soft fucking players. He doesn't give a shit about playing strong and playing hard. He started off the game playing hard, and then it's just like bend but don't break, bend but don't break, bend but don't break, bend but don't break. Let him get that 8 yards, let him get that 8 yards, let him kick the field goal. Yay, yay, yay. We fucking suck. Sean McDermott is the most overrated piece of shit coach in the league.
Did you guys see the little clip from Hard Knocks of Salah's like little thing about coaches when they come up to you when the winning coaches come up to you after the game and he's like, they're like, oh, you played hard. And he was like, so he's telling the story. He's like, yeah, he's like, when you lose the game, coaches come up to you and they're like, oh, you played hard or whatever. He's like, fuck that. He's like, I don't want none of that fucking shit. He's like, I don't want to, oh, you played hard. He's like, I want to fucking bury you guys.
Yeah. Does that sound like something Sean McDermott would say?
Oh, no. Nope. Not at all.
Fuck.
He's the guy that's like, oh, we lost 30-0. He'd be like, oh, I'm real proud of the guys. You know, they played hard and you know, it just didn't work out.
I'm so over him. I'm over him, but he's not going anywhere. Bean's not going anywhere. All right, Jay, who are you dunking on?
Well, since you took the Bills, I guess
Dunk on him, bitch. Give him. They fucking deserve it.
I was going to, but I figured someone. But since Mr. Tighten Up Adam isn't here, I guess I'll dunk on his team for him, the Bengals.
Oh, how?
I mean, they're probably equally as embarrassing as the Bills were. And then
Honestly, it's worse.
And then you bench your fucking newly signed $300 million fucking quarterback because he sucked.
It's honestly worse. Guys, fucking Joe Burrow had less than 90 yards passing. Dave, how you feeling about number 2 overall, Joe Burrow, so far?
I mean, you want me to just do my dunk right now?
Is it coinciding?
I'm fucking dunking on both of those teams. Number 1, Mr. Joe Burrow. I understand that you fucking suck game 1 every single year, but I mean, that was pitiful, dude. You couldn't get me. I got you in so many leagues. Do you know how many leagues I lost this week by like 5 points because Joe fucking Burrow can't throw one fucking touchdown pass? Are you kidding me right now? Like, I get it. Last year, he throws 4 picks. I get it. Game 1, Burrow is shit. I'm not worried about Joe Burrow. Season long, next week, Joe Burrow will be my starting quarterback, and I think he'll be just fine. But, like, seriously, bro, you can't throw one fucking touchdown pass. Like, I lost every single week because of you. And number 2, Mr. fucking Josh Allen, by the way, let's go ahead and throw this out here. Your boy has a fucking 5-prop parlay running that would have won him $900 fucking dollars. Matt Milano, you did your part, sir. Alan Lazard, you're not even on the Bills. I had to take you because you need to take somebody from the other team. You did your part, my man. James Cook, you did your part, my man. Stefan Diggs, I love you, brother. You did your part. Josh fucking Allen, you had to throw 2 fucking touchdown passes. Two of them. You cost me $900. I am so sick of this team just shitting on me all of the fucking time. And I put it in the group chat that I am done as a Bills fan. And I'm standing by that. I am a casual Bills fan right now. I am so done with putting everything behind this team and just thinking with my heart instead of my fucking brain. If the Bills win 0 games the rest of the season and I win all of my fantasy leagues, great. It was a great year.
Hey,
that was spicy.
Dave, and maybe Jay knows this answer too. How many points did my favorite receiver in the NFL, T. Higgins, get this week? I'll give you a clue. The same amount of points of fantasy football that I got this week. Me and T. Higgins had the same amount of fantasy football points this week.
How
So
about
how do you think? I fucking felt starting T. Higgins, who I've shat on for years, and not shat on, but I just think that Joe Burrow is overrated. And then this week fucking happens, and in my family league, I start my draft off with Jamar Chase, so I take Joe Burrow later. Jamar Chase still got 9 points. When your quarterback gets 89 yards and your receiver gets 9 points, that's fucking phenomenal, by the way. That's 9,000 percentage more points than T. Higgins got. So what an awful. What if this is the new NFL? What if we're all wrong and all these quarterbacks that got all these, every fucking multi-million, the fucking let me see. Let me just do math in my head. The 6 richest quarterbacks in the fucking world. Joe Burrow this week. All right. Josh Allen this week. Patrick Mahomes this week. Kyler Murray this week.
Hey there, little fella.
Jalen Hurts this week. And then Justin Herbert this week.
Yeah.
Okay. There's your 6 richest of quarterbacks in the NFL. Oh, I forgot Deshaun Watson. He was okay. Well, he was top 5. So, oh, yeah, and Aaron Rodgers. So, what is going on? Ridiculous. But yeah, so we're all pretty much dunking on the Bills and the Bengals, and then
your favorite quarterback Brock Purdy was better than pretty much all of those guys you named.
and it was going to be a segment I was going to make, like, joking around, because I always say that Brock Purdy's he's winning games for San Francisco, but like he's not a fantasy guy. The guy scored 2 touchdowns and he had 16 points. I wish Joe Burrow had 16 points.
I wish
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had 16 points.
16 points will get the job done.
So he probably finished literally 15th, like mid as fucking can be, right? Like, and it was still better than all these elite guys. Desmond Ritter was better than all these elite guys. Like, ridiculous. And Desmond Ritter threw 18 passes. He was better than, I don't know if he's better than Josh, but he's definitely better than fucking Burrow and Dak. And
All we gotta say right now is Jimmy Garoppolo did better. Jimmy
Garoppolo was slanging it, bro.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Raiders. I might have been off on them. I was calling for them last year. McDaniels has his guys now, and that offense was humming. I know it was against Denver, so grain of salt. But he's playing that awesome Buffalo Bills defense this week, which they're still. I don't expect Jimmy G to have a good week against the Bills, but I sure as hell expect Josh Jacobs to have a good week against the Bills.
Yep.
All right, that was quick. So
this is a fight. This is a fiery episode. I'd like to apologize to the listener. I got a little salty there. I let my parlays get the best of me, but I stand by everything I'm said. I'm sorry. I yelled it though.
Well, let's take a step back from being angry and.
Oh man, I'm so high right now. I have no idea what's going on.
So I know sometimes people like confuse the dunk and the so high, but like the dunk really is what we just did. It's anger. It's really fucking like bonehead stupid shit. We're so high is kind of just like, really, dude, really, right? So my so high is going towards the NFL and their fucking field. And the more I look into things, the more I realize that they don't give a fuck about player safety. Key being this: the New York Giants field, the New York Jets field, same field. They have that new turf with all the little black things in it.
It's rubber.
The black rubber. And
that's why the Bills have the same thing.
So, okay. And there's plenty of fields that have it, but I'm focusing on New York this weekend. So the Giants game, I'm watching this game, and poor Daniel Jones getting his ass kicked, getting destroyed. And every time he comes up, he's covered in black pellets, right? Covered in black pellets. Now, riddle me this, guys. Von Miller, Trey White, 2 guys, torn ACLs. Both happened in New Orleans and Detroit. What kind of field do they have? The same field, right?
Yep.
Right.
So, going into the Monday night game, same field as the Giants. What happens on the 4th play of the game, Dave?
Oh, just casual little tweak.
Little Achilles tear.
It was just
a little explosion in his Achilles.
It was just a casual tweak.
Now, I did a little research, gentlemen. So, MLS soccer is getting big, right? You got what's his face now is in America.
Messi.
Messi's in America now, right? So, with the World Cup and stuff, now some of these major stadiums, Washington, New York, maybe Philadelphia, they're going to have games, right? Coming up.
Right.
Guess what they're going to do? They have to remove that shitty field to put in real grass field for these soccer games. Why? Because of player safety. Because the soccer doesn't want their stars getting hurt. And the NFL said, okay, that makes sense. We'll take out these fields for your soccer games, and then we'll put those back on. What the fuck? That makes no sense to me at all. And this needs to be investigated. I know I'm getting angry about it, but it's just so it's fucking it's
mind-boggling.
I mean, this has been an argument for years, though. The turf is ass. They put the black pelts in there. It's rubber. It's supposed to cushion, and it's supposed to reduce the number of injuries because it's cushioning, blah, 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 blah. But if you look at a majority of the players that end up getting these ACL, Achilles, and shit, it's all on fucking turf.
Yeah, and it's so much that they don't want Messi refuses to play on the turf. And so the soccer is like, well, we're not coming unless you replace that turf. And the NFL's like, okay, we'll replace it.
Without even a blink of an eye. They're gonna spend the money to put in to rip out the turf, to put in new grass, and then they're gonna turn around and spend money to rip out the real grass to put the turf back in.
Absolutely ridiculous. Jay, what are you high on?
I'm high on the Giants.
I gotta drop for it. Wait for it.
I don't know if they forgot that it was week 1 of the regular season or they forgot they were playing football, but week 1 and you just get fucking 40-0, I think the score was. I mean,
let me give you guys a quick quick synopsis of that game. First drive, they're running down the field. Saquon's got like 7 fantasy points in the first drive. He ends the game with 9 fantasy points. Awful. The players are falling around everywhere, but to be fair, it was absolute pouring rain. Absolutely awful. But Daniel Jones, that Giants offensive line I heard was bad. That is the worst offensive line I think I've ever seen in my life.
Did you watch the video that I put in the group chat?
Yeah.
I was fucking dying.
Daniel Jones, and I want to, and you guys know I like Daniel Jones a little bit. I want to send Daniel Jones some love. That's a tough fucker. He stayed out there until like the last drive and just was getting murdered and just stayed out there to show his team's down 40-0. He's still fucking getting blasted. So I'm giving him a little props there. But wow, JR, you right. Like, what an ass fucking performance. Is the Giants that bad, or are the Cowboys that good, Jay?
I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, fucking, like we said it last year. We were like, oh, the Giant or the Dallas is gonna have a top tier offense, and fucking Dak was shit. And then I don't know. Is Dak really going to be good this year, or is the Giants just fucking dog shit and they just forgot to show up week 1?
Well, not you, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not you, but the other 3 of us all picked the Giants to be the NFC the Cowboys to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. So me, Adam, and Dave all picked the Cowboys to win the NFC. So we're looking good on that one right now, huh, Dave?
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
I mean, I think it was a little bit of a perfect storm. I mean, we asked, like, is Dallas really?
I see what you did there because it was storming. I see. I see you.
And another Chaz like, it's the weather is making teams suck again.
That's what Jay's referring to, by the way. Before Dave goes on his, is I was shit talking Burrow, which I kind of normally do, but I said I'm going to give him a break because of the weather. I'm going to give him a break. Anyway. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it really is a little bit of a perfect storm. We said, like, is Dallas really that good? Is the Giants O-line really that bad? And I think the answer is yes, both ways. That offensive line looked absolutely horrific, and the Giants or the Cowboys D looked legit, like we kind of thought it was going to be. And I just think it was just an absolute bloodbath. And I don't feel sorry very often for these guys, but I feel sorry for Daniel Jones. That was a rough day. That was a rough day for the young man.
Didn't he show his toughness though? I think.
You know what? He looked like shit, and it was not his fault at all.
I want to be fair to Daniel Jones. He didn't look like shit. He didn't do anything. He was literally hiking the ball and dying.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to say. I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan, but I'll give him credit when credit is due. I mean, he looked like shit, and honestly, it wasn't his fault. And I got a little bit of a little bit more respect for Daniel Jones after that, because to just sit there and take that punishment, I would have been like, "Yo, coach, get me." When it was fucking 30-0, I'd be like, "Yo, I'm done." Like,
Yeah. At least Daniel Jones stayed in the game, unlike Dave's boy Joe Burrow.
Benched.
listen, he wasn't benched. All right, they were protecting him.
Oh, is that what it was?
Burrow
Yeah.
was like, "Nah, coach, can I get back in the game?" Nah, bruh. Okay, all right. So, did you do yours yet, Dave?
No, not yet. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. The one that I'm high on this week. And I think this guy was high during the game or something. Because Dallas Goddard, bro, where the fuck were you, dude? But did you forget that there was a game on Sunday?
Did you forget that Dave and Chaz have a bet about you?
Did you get so high that you forgot to show up to work on Sunday? Because what the fuck, dude? Like, where was Dallas Goddard? Where was he? Did anybody even see him running on the field?
So for some context at home, we had a big argument about Dave and I had a big argument about who's going to be better this year, Kyle Pitts or Dallas Goddard. And Kyle Pitts had 6 points and is absolutely murdering Dallas Goddard.
Dallas Goddard did not get one reception, not one. I don't even know if he was targeted.
Yeah, it was, dude.
It was brutal. And you guys know, I'm not like when I'm looking at Dallas Goddard, like I'm not looking for him to be my savior. I'm not expecting Dallas Goddard to win me any weeks, but like, bro, I needed you to like between you and Burrow, I needed like 6 points, dude. Like, where the hell were you? Like, I needed you, dude. I needed you, and you let me down.
So you started Goddard with 0. I know I started Higgins with 0. I'm sure you started Higgins somewhere with 0 because you like Cincy. Jay, did you start any zeros this week?
Yeah, Graham Gano. Fucking dickhead.
So we all got hit with the 0 bug. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet where some guy was roasting his friend because the guy started Aaron Rodgers, Graham Gano, Higgins, and fucking Goddard. He started 4 guys with 0s.
Oof, I would probably quit.
Can you imagine having that fucking squad?
No.
Ridiculous. Here's another weird fucking one, Dave. I'm pretty sure your boy, another argument we had with tight ends, Pat Fryermuth had 7 points only, and he had a touchdown.
Yeah, but he's also hurt now. So
No, just wild stat, 7 points with a touchdown.
Yeah, he's 1 catch, 1 touchdown, whatever. 1 yard, 1 yard, one catch, 1 touchdown. Injured, probably be done for like 6 weeks or something.
I think I have an honorary I'm so high too, since we're recording so late. But Kadarius Toney, I think we could all agree on high as fuck. I thought Gabe Davis couldn't catch. Holy shit!
I did drop him.
Christ.
I had him, but the league I had him was like a 10-team league, so I didn't care as much. But I wouldn't rush to drop. A lot of people I see dropping Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. Like, guys, reel it in a little bit. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw more touchdowns.
Well, I mean, Kadarius Toney can't catch a fucking beach ball right now, so
I wouldn't recommend dropping him fucking Puka Nacua. Like, honestly, like I've seen that a lot, but like I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes number 2 option over Matthew Stafford's, right? Like, right? I don't know. I don't know. I did drop him, but like I said, that was a 10-team league.
Somebody's got to catch the ball in KC. I mean, I don't know. It's looking like Rice at the moment is kind of the best option, but I mean,
what did he have? 1 catch?
That's the best. That's the second best option behind Kelsey.
I think he had a Pat Fryermuth
one catch. That's all you needed to do to be number 2 in KC. You just got to catch it one time.
Pretty much.
I still think, even though I don't even think he had 1 catch, I still think Sky Moore's the guy. But we'll have to see. It's going to be different when Kelsey comes back. And you know what? The Lions played great for that game. And, CJ Gardner-Johnson was shutting everybody down. That guy's elite. We know he is. So it is what it is. All right. So we're going to get to our more positive segment.
Time for a victory lap.
Jay, why don't you start this one?
I'm going with the guy that I thought was going to have a great year, and so far that seems to be the case. It's only week 1, but Calvin Ridley, man,
Hell yeah.
fucking
Dude.
stud.
You know what he gets?
Yep.
I want to be fair on Calvin Ridley. The dude had 1 catch in the second half. What happened? He went the first half of the game, Calvin Ridley had 20-something points, and then he ended the game with like 21.4.
Yeah, but
what happened?
I think that's a lot of game planning. I think that's a lot of second half adjustments of just really focusing to take him out of the game. If you really look back and look at a couple of those plays, he saw a lot of second half double coverage and safeties over the top, and one catch is still pretty awful, even if they are game planning to take you out of the game. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna be able to do that every week.
And let's give the Colts some love. The Colts played great.
Yeah,
they played good. Yeah,
they did.
Colts played great. The defense played great. Calvin Ridley being so good, and I know Zay Jones got a touchdown, and I know Evan Ingram ended up with 9 points. What happened with Christian Kirk? 1 point? Is he done now?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know he makes more money than Calvin Ridley?
I got him as a wide receiver 3 in a few leagues, and I'm nervous. I'm really nervous.
He in our fantasy football bros league, he's my flex, and like I'm nervous about him. 1 point, 1. I see better days ahead because you know what? That's a division game. The Colts played good. They came out firing. So
yeah, but still, I mean, Lawrence loves Zay Jones, so he's got. I mean, his pecking order is probably, in my opinion, is Calvin Ridley now, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, and then Christian Kirk.
I wouldn't. I know he got the touchdown, but I still am the belief that they're putting Kirk above Ingram too. Maybe it was a different game, but the highest paid offensive player on that team is Christian Kirk.
I don't think so. Last year, Evan Ingram had a great year last year. Zay Jones had a fucking great year, but now with Calvin Ridley.
I think you're just sleeping on Christian Kirk a little from last year, and I just want to make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm looking up his stats right now to tell everybody, because I think you might just be sleeping on his stats just a little bit from last year. Christian Kirk last year had 84 receptions for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. So that's a pretty good year.
It's a good year, but I still think that Zay Jones was his favorite target last year.
I'm gonna say no, but we'll see. So what did we say? 84, 1,108. Zay Jones was 80. Okay, Zay Jones was 82 for 805. So Christian Kirk had the better year, but still, I mean, it's scary. It's scary if you're a Christian Kirk owner because you took Christian Kirk way ahead of Zay Jones.
Yeah,
you're taking Christian Kirk in the 8-9 hole. And Zay Jones probably might have not even got drafted.
Yeah.
And those stats are a little bit concerning to me also because, that was when Christian Kirk was wide receiver 1 over there. I mean, there was no Calvin Ridley, and he was still, it was still pretty close to a 50-50 split between him and Zay Jones when you're looking at point totals. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I do like Christian Kirk. I really do. But, he was, he put that up as a wide receiver 1. Now you're drafting him. He's definitely the wide receiver 2 on that team now. I think expectations need to be tempered a little bit.
I'm not panic mode yet on him, but like 1 point is very concerning. And I love Calvin Ridley, and I always have. The guy's the best receiver to come out of Alabama. Yeah, okay. You might be able to argue Devontae Smith now, but I don't know if I'd put Devontae Smith above Calvin Ridley yet. But he's better than fucking all those other guys, Judy, and Ruggs. Yeah, and he's better than Judy. He's better than Ruggs. I think he's better than Smith as of now, and he's better than the fucking Cooper, Mari Cooper. So I don't know. I like him. So but it is concerning with Kirk a little bit. But yes, great call on my fantasy crush, Calvin Ridley. Dave, who are you taking a victory lap on?
I have 2, and you're not gonna agree with me that they're victory laps. Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. I was just please before I get booed and shitted on, please let me just say a few things. I'm gonna throw out there Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, and the reason why okay, just wait a second.
I quit the show.
The reason why is you drafted DeAndre Hopkins to be your wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, which I think you got great late round value for.
I drafted him, not you.
Okay, but also,
I drafted him too.
Okay,
you drafted him to be your number 1.
He got
Who, me?
No, Dave.
I did not draft him to be my number 1. You know, I didn't reach on DeAndre Hopkins. I waited for the right time, and if he was gone, he was gone. So that's okay. But he ended up with 7 catches for 65 yards, which is not horrific. Yeah, not horrific. You drafted him as a wide receiver 2, wide receiver, most likely wide receiver 3. You got great value. And what's promising is he had 13 targets, bro. He is the clear cut first option on this team. And I think better day. I know you're going to say Tannehill sucks and it doesn't matter. He could have 200 targets and it doesn't matter because Tannehill is the one throwing it. I already know the argument.
What my argument is going to be like, I'm going to quote you. I'm happy. He had 13 targets. He's the clear number 1 option in Tennessee. Of course he's the clear number 1 option in Tennessee. Of course.
Yes, of course.
Ryan Tannehill had and this could be good for your argument. This could be good for your argument. Ryan Tannehill had 3 interceptions throwing at DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes,
he did. No, and I mean that. Like all 3 interceptions that Ryan Tannehill had, the targeted receiver was DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good or bad for your argument.
I actually think that's good because you can kind of tell that when a guy throws an interception at somebody and he feels like that was the receiver's fault, they steer away, right? It's just a mental thing. You just steer away from it a little bit. And Tannehill just continued to pepper DeAndre Hopkins. It was just target after target after target. 13 targets. He led the league. He led the league in targets, I think, for the week. Yeah. So I know the stat line doesn't look amazing, but I think you're hopeful for the future of DeAndre Hopkins, especially where you drafted him and just looking at the possibilities. I do think that there's obviously better days ahead for DeAndre Hopkins.
You were a little more logical than Adam because I believe Adam ranked him at like 6. You didn't have him that high.
I didn't have him that high. No, I didn't. I didn't have him that high.
And that's why, like, me and you argue and Josh about it back and forth right now. And I'm pretty sure that you and definitely Adam said you would take DeAndre Hopkins over Calvin Ridley. How you feeling about that right now?
I think right now, obviously, it looks like the wrong play. I think, I really think better days are ahead for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, I think.
And I agree with you. He's not going to never score 22 points.
Yeah, and guys, I want you to just keep in mind of like how my thought process is going right here. I'm thinking of draft value, right? So, do I think Calvin Ridley ends up a better wide receiver than DeAndre Hopkins for the year? Yes, I actually do. But do I think that like where are you drafting Calvin Ridley versus DeAndre Hopkins? You know what I mean? Now does the value feel the same? And for me, I'm fine with taking a few less points and getting DeAndre Hopkins three rounds later. You know what I mean?
Actually, our big argument was DeAndre Hopkins and Keenan Allen, and I'm pretty sure Keenan had 14 points and DeAndre had 13. So we're at a stalemate at that right now.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I do love me some DeAndre Hopkins, but like the years DeAndre Hopkins was a second round pick, was I as high on him? No, I just think this is the year where like the value is good on DeAndre Hopkins, which is why I'm so high on him. That's it. But
fair enough. All right. So we're going to go to my victory lap. And y'all might think I'm coming in with Bijan, right? But he had a great game. But you know why I'm not taking a victory lap on him? Because I was expecting that. I was expecting him to be an awesome running back. And he was an awesome running back. And I think everybody was expecting him because he was pretty much a first or early second round pick everywhere, right? So I don't feel that's appropriate to take a victory lap yet. You might think I'm taking a victory lap on Anthony Richardson because he was a top 5 quarterback this week, and I'm not. And I told you I got a new drop for this, right? I got a new drop for this episode. You guys ready for it?
I've been sitting on the edge of my seat for this.
All you need to know, guys, moving forward in fantasy, he might be sitting on your bench. You might want to make a play because, folks, it's all you need is love. Is Jordan Love. Came out, gunslinger, looking fantastic. Not just a lot of points circumstantially, making dime fucking throws. I don't even think he ran, and the guy has some wheels. The guy made all the plays from the pocket. Now, granted, if you listen to Aaron Rodgers, he's got awful receivers, right? Awful. Got shitty receivers, no weapons, nothing. The guy comes out, and I literally mean this, folks at home. Listen to me carefully at home. Jordan Love's might have been his second start, but let's be fair. It's his first start as the team's quarterback with nothing but rookies and second-year wide receivers. Am I making that up, guys?
No, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Christian Watson was out for the game. So.
Christian Watson was out.
Yep.
And one of my favorites, Romeo Doubs, is a second-year wide receiver. Jaden Reed's a first-year wide receiver. His tight ends are all in the first and second year. His running backs are old, but still. So this guy comes in to the same team that Aaron Rodgers had. You know, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest athlete that ever graced God's green earth. He came into the same team without Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb because they left. Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets, who he thought was better. And in one game in 2023, folks, had more points than any Aaron Rodgers game in fantasy football last year. And newsflash, more points than any game Aaron Rodgers will have this year as well. So
low blow.
So the guy comes in his first fucking really start taking over. This is his team against the shitty Bears. Great. But you have to attack the shitty teams. And guess what? His division isn't that great. He's going to play the Bears again. And he's going to play the Vikings twice. And the Vikings got tore up by Baker Mayfield. So, again, folks, remember, that's all you need. If you got not one of the elite guys, but if you're floating around with Dak or Kirk Cousins or Geno, go get him, because the guy also has some wheels too. I'm not saying the Packers are going 17-0. I'm not saying Jordan Love's finishing top 5, but I would not be surprised if Jordan Love finishes the season as your 8th overall quarterback.
I'm gonna step in here and agree with you on this one. I think you can do a lot. I think you can do a lot worse than a backup or a bye week filler. Jordan Love, he's not gonna finish top 5, I don't think, but he's in a shit division, and he's shown that he can get it done. He's gonna have some good weeks, some serviceable weeks for you. And honestly, if you really watch that game, I don't know how many people watch that game. But his stat line should have looked a lot better, because my boy, who I actually really, really am high on, Mr. Luke Musgrave, who I still think if you're in a keeper league, you should grab Luke Musgrave, because I think next year he's going to be a tight end that's going to get drafted, and you should grab him now and get your. But that's a conversation for another time. I love you, bro, but you stumbled just like catching a routine 50-yard wide open touchdown, which would make Jordan Love's stat line looks even better.
Jay, did you watch him at all?
Yeah,
I know. He had to surprise you a little bit, because you never really had anything to say about him.
No. I mean, he was going to be better than Aaron Rodgers. So, I already knew that it was going to be an improvement. But, yeah, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I like the kid even coming out of college. So, and I think it was the best thing for him. If Trey Lance would have got the Jordan Love treatment, if Trey Lance would have sat behind Jimmy G for a couple of years, you know what I mean? Instead of throwing him in the second year, but then he got injured. Trey Lance didn't have a chance, right? It's the same. It's just the same concept, because Jordan Love was the same guy, big athletic dude, went to a small school, and he got thrown behind Aaron Rodgers for the year. Steps in his first real start, murders the Bears, and he should have. But to be fair, Dave, do you remember the line? I'm pretty sure the Bears were 5-point favorites.
Yeah, I think the Bears were 3.5, which I mean, I was honestly surprised they even
I got that
were favored.
in your league there with the spread. I took the Packers on that one. So
Yeah, I was surprised they were favored there. Lots of Justin Fields love going on there.
well, Justin Fields, by the way, was not as I mean, he was bad, but just because of his rushing, he was still like a top 12 quarterback.
Yep,
So
that's exactly what it'll be. So
yeah. So as bad, and like this is kind of I guess throwing pie in a little bit of Jay's face for ranking him at 20. As bad as Justin Fields looked, just because of his wheels, he was still a top 12 quarterback this week. You know,
Yep.
that's what you're going to get.
He's still a shit quarterback.
Absolutely, but we're here to win fantasy points. You know?
I will say real quick while we're talking about the Bears, I don't know if this is relevant or not, but he most likely was not picked up on your free agent pool this week. If he's still out there, just keep an eye on Roschon Johnson. I really liked him before the season started. I know he's got competition there with Herbert and Deonta Foreman,
and
but
Justin Fields.
And Justin Fields, yeah, but I really do think like he's the best fit for that offense, and he got a little taste of action, and he ended up pretty good. Got some great touches, got in the end zone, got a lot of catches, which I was, that's kind of what I was waiting for him to take that Herbert role. Yeah, just keep an eye on him. He's a good guy to maybe stash for second half of the season.
And if you drafted Chase Claypool, you should probably drop him.
But keep Cole Kmet, guys. Cole Kmet, like he was my late target for like I took the one family league I'm in. I don't know why, but a lot of my family members, and if you guys are listening, y'all are crazy. We're taking second and third tight ends. Like, so I took Cole Kmet as like the 20th tight end off the board, and he finished 6th. So I'm like very happy with that.
Hey.
Cole Kmet I think is going to be fine because I think Justin Fields likes him. So if you don't have, faith in your tight end, which nobody has faith in any tight end other than like 3, go and get Cole Kmet if he's out there.
I never understood why Cole Kmet was so low this year because you look at the Justin Fields hype from last season where Justin Fields went off, that kind of skyrocketed him into that obvious top 10 situation. It's like Cole Kmet was right there with them. I mean, Cole Kmet was putting up 122 touchdown games, and it's like Justin Fields got elevated into that clear-cut top 10, and Cole Kmet just kind of stayed right where he was last year, and like that maybe fringe top 20 guy. And I'm like, I don't know. That just feels low to me.
So Jay wasn't a part of this argument, but we can get his take on it now. Adam's not here. Dave, do you still feel comfortable that saying the Saints are easily winning the NFC South and the Falcons aren't going to do anything?
I do, yeah.
You still feel comfortable with that? Even
I do.
They struggled with the Titans.
I do, and I think it's a lot for week 1, and yeah, it is week 1, and I think the Saints defense is better than advertised, and I just think I think teams are really going to start scheming towards shutting down this running game.
Did you see how awful Derek Carr was in the red zone?
I did, but I think it's not going to matter. I just think that teams are really going to scheme to shut down this running game. They're going to make Desmond Ridder throw the ball, and it's not going to work. And I think Derek Carr will be good enough where he can make it happen.
All right, Jay, do you think the Saints are still running away?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're both tied for the division lead right now, and I think you guys are sleeping on the Falcons. So that's all. I mean, I get it. They played the Panthers, but the Panthers are in that division.
But Dave's right. Like teams are gonna force him to throw. They're not gonna, and he can't. He's not good at throwing. So
yeah, I mean, every team that's playing them the rest of the season is now game planning to just take Tyler Algier and Bijan out of that game.
But you honestly think a team that's only gonna throw like 16 passes a game is somehow gonna be?
What about the Tennessee
1?
Titans the last 6 years?
They throw more than 16 times.
Sure, it was 1 week, but what about Tennessee Titans the last 6 years? What about the Browns for the last 5 years? I mean, it happens.
It does, but
like Atlanta is in better shape than I think Okay, so Tennessee maybe this year with Nuke and stuff, but Atlanta is better suited to run this with their defense. Atlanta's defense is better than Tennessee's defense, and I'm comparing these two just because of they're the most heavy run schemes in the NFL. But Atlanta's in the easier division. Maybe not. They're both kind of crappy divisions. So to be fair,
Yeah.
Atlanta has two good backs. Tennessee has one. Atlanta, and I mean, how we've had this argument: how much better is Tannehill than Ritter? After week 1, I don't think you can run away and say Tannehill's that much better than Ritter. I don't think you can. So, you know, I don't think it's that absurd if Atlanta wins this division. But it's week 1. You know,
We
I
were-
can't wait for the Saints and Falcons game, whenever that is.
Yeah,
That'd
we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I want to see one game where Atlanta is really facing the stacked box, and they have to rely on Desmond Ritter to do something. And I want to see what the kid can do.
And then maybe he's got to throw to his, weapons of Drake London and Kyle Pitts, which aren't that bad. So
They're not that bad. They're not that well. Kyle Pitt, I like Kyle Pitts more than Drake London is trash.
So is Kyle Pitts. For being
Drake London.
honest.
Drake London's trash.
you are both wrong. They just don't have a throwing offense. But you're both wrong at that. Me and Jay like Drake London last.
Kyle Pitts has been ass every single year that he's been in the league.
Stat wise, but playing wise, I guarantee you, if
Okay, well, your whole thing is about stats and winning
Well,
games and winning money, and now you're over
that's
here
fantasy
like,
stuff. We were having an NFL
blah, blah, blah.
conversation. That's all. We were having who's going to win the thing. I guarantee you, if Kyle Pitts is cut today, he is signed for multi-million dollars. I wouldn't say the same thing about Drake London. But if Kyle Pitts is cut
because
today,
there's this fantasy that it's going to be Kyle Pitts' year, like it has been every year.
it could be he just fantasy-wise he needs a quarterback. But I'm telling you, Atlanta's a better team than people give credit for. But it is what it is. It's week 1, and I'm excited to see where all this weighs down at the end of the year. So we got week 2 coming up. You get maybe some more upsets. Maybe the Raiders run all over the Bills again. We'll have to see what Sean McDermott does. Probably not do anything because he's an awful coach, apparently.
Well, we already know they ain't going to make any adjustments. We never made adjustments ever, so.
But if Josh comes out and plays like Josh, then they can run down our throats. It's fine. If we have a 20 fucking point lead, go ahead and run the ball. And I think that's what they need. They need to get up. They need to have a fucking 20-point lead, and then go ahead. You can run down our throats because you're going to kill the clock and we're going to score again.
Yeah.
That's what the Bills need, So, all right, we'll get to the end. Adam, thank you for joining us. All right. So we've got song of the week. Me and Jay discussed the song of the week before you got here, Dave, and we are gonna go.
I just snorted.
The song of the week we're gonna go for is because all of us Bills fans need this. We need a little faith, so we're gonna go with Limp Bizkit, Faith, and we need a little faith. But there's a signature line in this song where Fred Durst, my man, yells, "Get the fuck up!" And that's what the fucking Bills need to do. They need to get the fuck up. They need to wake the fuck up, pull their head out of their asses, stop smelling their own shit, and try to become dominant again. So the song of the week is Limp Bizkit, Faith. So, Jay, thank you for joining us. The first actual real week 1 recap is in the books. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it feels nice to get into here. Dave, it was your first time doing our segmented episodes. How you feeling? How do you like the flow?
Football is back, baby. The flow is good. We are talking real live football. The autumn is in the air. The chicks are all wearing those super tight black pants that I'm a fan of. It's a good season.
And we're canceled. Thanks.
Yep.
We
Way to go, Dave.
oh boy. And we didn't get to introduce her, but she's running around here. So
At least she showed up, unlike Adam.
yeah, geez, well, you can always count on Pickles when Jay's around. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna get back. Sorry we're late this week, guys. The Bills on Monday. We usually record Monday nights, but we decided to record late. But we'll be back on our normal schedule. The episode will be out Tuesday-ish next week. So
Hopefully Adam can get the time and day right for this next episode. So
we'll have to remind him a bunch of times. All right, Jay, thank you as always for
no
joining.
problem.
Dave, thank you as always now for joining us as well.
Good to be here, man. Appreciate you guys.
Are the Bills going to win this week, Dave?
I don't care.
He's done. He's done.
I mean, God, we got beat by Zach Wilson. I mean, Jimmy G might be a step up.
Dave, I don't know how you do it, but I wish I could do that so I don't have to have my heart ripped out every fucking week and every year. But
yeah.
I think they get it back together. They get it back together.
See, like Chaz is following his heart right now.
See, I'll let you know how I feel about it after I see the line and let you know which way I go.
Dave, who is the who's leading the AFC West right now?
I don't know.
Well, the Chargers lost, the Broncos lost, the Chiefs lost.
Chiefs lost, yeah.
Oh my God, who's number 1 in the AFC West right now? The Raiders.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, we'll see if Jimmy G makes it the rest of the season.
No, I don't think so. That's my number 2. But Jay has this feeling that Josh McDaniel is going to be the first coach fired, and
it wasn't just me. There's a whole there's a line, and he was number 1.
Well, they're 1-0, leading the division and playing the god awful Bills. It seems like right now. So,
yeah, Josh Jacobs is probably going to have 3 touchdowns for 303 yards.
So do you think there's any chance before we say goodbye that Brian Dable could be the first coach fired? Like, what if the Giants keep playing like this?
Yeah, but
what if the Seahawks keep playing like they played? The Seahawks lost to Matt Stafford, and can you name this player? That's literally.
Pete Carroll hasn't been fired yet, and there's probably times he should have been. So I doubt he will
made
now.
The playoffs last year, but literally he lost to Matt Stafford. You could put up Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell's pictures, and I wouldn't be able to pick them out of the crowd. Dave, name me 2 players not named Aaron Donald on the Rams defense. Let me help you out.
Not Jalen Ramsey.
And they beat the division winners from last year. Oh, no, they didn't win the division. They won the wild card. But the playoff team from last year. So
I think Dable and Carroll are both on long leashes.
Okay, fair enough. And Josh McDaniels is on a short leash. Do you guys think that?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if many coaches are on a short leash because literally half the league has new coaches and new offensive coordinators, right?
Yeah, I'm not sold honestly on many coaches being on a short leash.
It'll be tough. I mean, all the shitty ones are gone. Kingsbury's gone. Lovie Smith is gone. You know who could be on a short leash is in Tampa Bay, but they won against the fucking Vikings.
Yeah.
So interesting. Well, I guess the synopsis of everything before we say goodbye, guys, is week 1 is drunk, y'all. So hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you liked, comment, subscribe, and hopefully you've been checking out our TikTok. I've been putting up a lot of content that's getting a lot of good likes and reviews, and people are liking it. So make sure you add the Fantasy Football Bros on TikTok. So everybody already said their goodbyes. So Adam, thanks for joining us. Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, y'all. All right. So until then, guys, we'll see you next time.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.
See ya.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.